It really began with the inspiration of my daughter and being in the grocery store, checking out what was available on the market, what baby foods were out there, to see that, wow, there's this massive amount of shelf space and all I see are jars. I see jars of colorless baby food that I would never eat myself, and with that being said, how could I possibly feel good about feeding it to her? So at that very moment, I thought, I think I can do something about this, and I'm going to do what I can to try. And I went to the kitchen, started making food for my daughter, found that her taste buds were really far advanced than what I would expect, that she actually liked a lot of things that were very unique and different. And I felt, I think people have really been misunderstanding what babies want. Just overcooked peas is really not very exciting. They actually want more. So I started making my food, selling it at the farmer's market. Can't forget to say that I enlisted my sister to help me. And it was interesting to see how the response happened and how quickly moms were to say, wow, this food looks better than what I'm eating. And consumers coming back week after week, looking for something new and different and exciting. So the farmer's market was a really great first step to getting market research, understanding what the consumer was looking for, and having that ability to get in front of them and get that kind of feedback, which most big companies don't get that direct feedback. I felt I couldn't exactly walk into a bank or an investment company with a great idea. I had to prove to them that there was something of substance and a story to tell that they could get behind. And that's exactly what we did. We did the farmer's market for 2 years, a little longer than expected, but we gathered enough information and enough, sales support to prove that we've got a really sustainable business here. And it raised the eyebrows of a number of investors. After our 2 years at the farmer's market, I spent the next 2 years researching how to bring this product to market. Again, I had no experience in agriculture, I had no experience in food processing except for cooking in a commercial kitchen and packaging and freezing and selling out of a farmer's market. I really needed to understand a lot more than what I did. And there are so many resources out there for people in my position that have a great idea, have no idea how to take it to market. It's really just tapping into them. Every business is going to be faced with challenges, especially growth challenges. What's the best way to overcome that? It's really planning for growth. And if you plan for growth properly and align yourselves with the right partners from the very beginning, we were able to see a lot of obstacles that we were going to be faced with, and it was going to help us overcome them because we had planned for it. As an entrepreneur, sometimes it can be very difficult to acknowledge that you may not be the best at everything. So I'm not going to be the accountant. I'm not going to be the graphic designer. I really am not interested in shipping and logistics, but I'm going to hire all the people that need to take care of those things. And pulling together a strong management team and the right people was critical in the early days to help even raising the capital. So getting off the ground with a great story is one thing, but then obviously you're going to need your finances and your capital at the next stage. And bringing all the people together to make that happen really helped us with our first capital raise and helped us get off the ground. Against a lot of advice, my vision was every mom and every baby needs to have access to this food. And the best way for me to do that is with Canada's largest retailer. Well, as soon as you tell people that, it's absolutely not. That's setting yourself up for failure. Why don't you start with some organic growth? Maybe start selling at the small independent retailers. And I felt, as soon as I do that, someone's going to knock off my idea. Heinz is going to be out there, and I'm never going to get into those big retailers because I didn't start there. And so we planned for growth and laid out and built the company, the infrastructure from the very beginning, from the inside out, to sustain that kind of growth. So I knew that my very first consumer presentation, which was to Walmart Canada, I had everything in place to make that order happen. We had the funding, we had the materials, we had the co-packer, we had everything we needed to make that happen. And I had the confidence that they were going to buy this because this was innovation. I had to sell them on the idea that there had been no innovation in baby food in 50 years. Our packaging is probably one of the most innovative things we brought to that category. And if anyone isn't aware of Baby Gourmet, it's a pouch, a foil resealable pouch with a cap where baby can eat directly from the pouch, or you could squeeze it on a spoon and serve it. It's the ultimate in convenience. And because of the pouch, the thermal dynamics of it, you're able to cook it or pasteurize it for a much quicker time than a jar. So the food quality tastes so much better, the color's better. Everything about it ultimately is a better product. And with quality, innovation in food, and packaging together, right there was my home run. Selling it to Walmart was not quite as what I expected in the very beginning, but by the end of the meeting and convincing, a 50-plus-year-old man to taste the baby food, which was probably the biggest challenge in the meeting, as soon as he tasted it, his complete body composition changed. He leaned forward and said, "Thank you for doing something, for coming prepared and changing this category. This is what I'm going to do." And right from that moment, we had a deal. And after that, everything just kind of came back together. All within 3 to 6 months, we had 80% of all stores in Canada that sell baby food selling Baby Gourmet. There's a few key things that I will always say that are contributors to our success, and that is we planned for growth and we tapped into our resources, marketing research, and ensuring that the market's there, really capturing our niche. Another thing that we've done really great, part of our success is the relationship we've built with our consumer, and that's with moms, babies. We've built a very genuine relationship with them, practically because I'm a mom, and I created this company for my daughter, and I feel obligated in the responsibility that I'm feeding other people's kids the same way I would feed my own. And we've been able to relay that message to our consumers, which I think has really helped. And at the very end, it's following your passion and doing something that my sister and I are very passionate about, and I think that's ultimately led to our success.